The fourth criteria in NAPLAN is really the only one where there's a significant difference between persuasive texts and narrative texts. So in persuasive texts, what they're looking for is your use of persuasive devices, the use of a range of persuasive devices to enhance the writer's position and persuade the reader. In narrative texts, on the other hand, what they're looking for is character and setting. So character, the portrayal and development of character, and for setting, the development of a sense of place, time, and atmosphere. Now, going back to the table that I put together, the phrase that I think you should try to remember for persuasive devices is ethos, pathos, logos, and I'll talk you through that in a minute. And for character and setting, the phrase that you need to remember is sustained and or convincing. So when we're looking at persuasive devices, we're really going right back to classical philosophy and the idea that persuasive rhetorical discourse is constituted by the selection of ideas, the invention, the arrangement of ideas into arguments or proofs, disposition, and the choice of language, style. Now, what that really means is that it's divided into three basic areas here: ethos, logos, and pathos. Now, ethos is about the appeal to values, some broad philosophical perspective. So the value of relationships, say, family values, for example. It might be that you're appealing to how we create a just society or encourage community responsibility, those big sort of philosophical value-based arguments. The second thing you need to do is appeal to reason, logos. So that's where you use dispassionate language, you cite relevant authority, you aim for objectivity and objective view of the opposition. You have qualified and measured statements. The third area that you need to appeal to is emotion, that's pathos. And this is where you bring in your emotive language, your direct appeal to the reader. You might disparage the opposition, use emphatic statements. Now, obviously, depending on the type of question, you may find you rely on one of these elements more than others, but they should all be there in some form or another. So here are some persuasive techniques that we know gain you marks in NAPLAN. Authoritative statements, conditional mood, direct address of the reader, emphasis, emphatic statements, figurative language, so symbolism, metaphor, simile, those sorts of things, imagery, humor, irony, and sarcasm. If you can use those effectively, they certainly will gain you marks. Hyperbole, as long as it's used appropriately. Imperative mood, so something that sounds like an instruction. Modality, the intensity of your language. Personal opinion gets you marks. Reference statements, rhetorical questions, and value statements. Now, in the narrative, what you're being judged on is your portrayal and development of character and the development of a sense of time, place, and atmosphere. Now, clearly, some stories are going to be more character-driven and some may focus more on atmosphere and setting. That doesn't really matter. Many stories will have a balance of these two. The most important aspect of character and or setting is that the sense of character and or setting is sustained. It needs to feel as though it continues throughout the whole story. So characters need to have convincing dialogue, introspection, and relation to other characters. We need to believe in them. And the story should maintain a sense of setting throughout. So the details of setting are selected to create a sense of place and atmosphere. So again, that word sustained is really important.